Before we get started, you guys on my last OC YouTube video asked me to please tell what Tamra holds over Heather Dubrow. And I said, since it's really hard to find in the Patreon from a while back, I think it was like 2023, I was talking about this. I redid the whole show again, but better and deeper. So it's in today's bonus audio in the Dishing Drama Dana Patreon if you want to give it a listen and find out the whole spiel about that. Hi, you guys. So my mouth on my left side is super swollen. I don't know if you can see it, but I had to have a crown extended. Who knew you even needed to have a crown extended? I was getting an irritation in my gum, and they looked and they're like, your crown was done too close to the bones. They extended it. Anyway, didn't hurt too bad. If it stops the chronic, hurt there, I'll be happy. But I look stupid. Anyway, I had to do a video about Denise Richards because I feel like there's a lot of balls flying around and I want to connect them in what I think is going on here. And I know you already think you know what I'm going to say, but I think I'm going to surprise you on this one. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe. So first of all, Denise Richards said that she thought that Aaron Fipers had put her dog to sleep without her permission. And he kind of stayed quiet on this one. Well, it turns out he did. So first, let's start with this, okay? He said, I did put a dog down without Denise Richards' permission. Her name was Melanie. And his justification for this was that Denise had not interacted with the dogs in 2 years. So I don't understand. How do those two things tie together? Just let's point that out. So this is what we're dealing with this lunatic. Now, he brought up that he put Melanie asleep because she had tumors and had cancer, but I saw the tumors that he showed as proof of this, and they were standard small dog tumors that they get when they're very, very old. And sometimes they're cancerous, but a lot of the time they're not. And he didn't provide any other proof that they were cancerous. So it's just like a bunch of ugly ball cysts under your dog. And usually they just keep going like everything's fine. They're just maybe a little uncomfortable. And some people have them removed and some people don't. It just depends. And a dog can be, 15, 16, 17 with this kind of thing. And it just is what it is. So I don't totally believe Aaron Fipers. I think she had really ugly cysts and he used it as an excuse to put this dog to sleep that was kind of older. You never put a dog to sleep on someone that, it's not your dog. You just don't do it. You deliver the dog to someone who can get the dog to Denise Richards to decide what to do. This was definitely him finding a dog that meant a lot to Denise Richards, finding any excuse he could to end this dog's life, and it's disgusting. So by now, you've probably seen the insider edition of Aaron Fipers taking you through a tour of a rented $3.5 million mansion that Denise allegedly hasn't lived in 2 years, and he isn't really there that much either, apparently. He now is, but before he was kind of going back and forth, I guess, from the townhomes that we saw in Wild Things and there, and they kind of have multiple locations, I guess they kind of run around in. Well, at the end of this insider edition tour of this property, we see examples of real dirt and hoarding and all this stuff, and he talks about it. I'll play some of it for you, don't worry. But the point is that what I really noticed was at the end of the video, he goes downstairs and we see his entire family, mom, dad, brother. I mean, who knows who else is living down there? And he's moved in with them there. But the thing is that you have to think about this for a second. Aaron Fipers has made zero money. He's taken money from people with cancer, but he's made zero money. He's lived off Denise Richards. She's paying this rental situation. I'm pretty sure her name is on the lease, probably only, and not his, or maybe his is as a tenant. But I'm going to guess that all of his family members are probably not on the tenancy, okay? So this is really important because what are these people doing in this house living off of Denise Richards is my question. With their primary thing being paid for by Denise, their rent. That in its own right is completely dysfunctional. no matter how rich and generous you are, you shouldn't be necessarily paying for your husband's entire family to live in another property that you rented, not even own, rented. Now, this was reported on Bravo before the divorce happened by Aaron Vipers. Denise Richards said, "My living situation is a little bit confusing," the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum admitted on the premiere, which aired Tuesday, of the Wild Things show. "I don't live in our Malibu house." That's the one that Aaron Vipers and his family live in. "Aaron's mom and dad and his brother, they were going to stay for a few months, but it's been over 3 years." So I think that's Denise Richards being too generous, and I think that's Aaron Vipers being very weird that he would allow her to do that. Let's see if her story changed from before the divorce. Nope, doesn't look like it. Richards, however, previously claimed in court documents to have moved out 2 years ago, insisting her ex and his family members severely damaged the property and left the house in a state of disarray. So she's basically sticking to the same story, except she's saying his family did most of the damage to that property. Now, I have no doubt that Aaron Vipers is going to create a real mess for whoever's on that lease. And I'm assuming it's Denise Richards from the way he's behaving, because he's going to create a situation where she's going to get a whopper of a bill as she exits that rental property. And it's not going to be paid by him because he's got nothing. It'll be paid by her. So he's trying to maximize that damage good and also make her look like a whack job to all the people. Now, there's no doubt that Denise Richards has an issue with taking on too many animals and potentially feeling, so bad for them. She can't say, "Listen, I don't have enough time or room to care for these animals," right? But either way, she's like, I think, coming from a good place in fostering all these animals, okay? I just think she might have taken off a little too much because she can't say no, maybe, or something. There are people that have weird things like that. And of course, the property is going to be disgusting with that many dogs always inside if they're not chronically being taken out for walks, etc. So we know there's a problem there for sure, and Denise needs to address that problem. But at the same token, as soon as she was allowed to get her dogs, she did, because she couldn't go to that house and get her dogs until the court ordered it, because she had gotten a restraining order against Aaron Vipers. And they had to say it's okay to go get your things, and he's got to go. So let me show you. According to People, however, a judge gave her access, meaning Denise Richards, to one of their residences, see they've got many, on September 13th in order to retrieve her mother's, and her own personal property, including the dog, while her estranged husband was ordered to stay 100 yards away from the home, as stated in the temporary restraining order, which Richards was granted in July. She immediately came as soon as she was allowed to by the court with all of these dog carriers and got the dogs with her dad. She also began to get her things out of the property because she's definitely going to be terminating this lease because, of course, she needs Aaron Vipers out and away from her, things she's responsible for because he's lethal right now. Now, when I watched the video, my first thought was, some of this is definitely real, but some of this could have been definitely embellished by Aaron Vipers. Like, if I was him in the situation where he's such a jerk that he's stealing money from cancer people, I would say he would go in there and just throw her shit all around the room and, make her look like a totally lunatic. So let's say it's a dirty, not great, I'm sure. Denise doesn't look organized, but let's just say it's like a little disheveled, right? Like she can be on TV sometimes. Well, Aaron goes in and let me take this, and make it times 10. I'm going to just rip out all the crap in the closet and throw it all over our bed. I mean, how would we know the difference, right? So the reliability of this video is no. This isn't the first time a landlord has sued Aaron and Denise Richards for trashing their house and having animals in it they shouldn't have and all this stuff. They were sued for a lot of money in a previous situation with landlords in 2021, and they ended up settling one day before trial for, I think, $100,000. Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Denise Richards hashed out a settlement with her former landlords who accused her of renting their pad and returning it trashed. According to court documents obtained by Radar, Denise and her husband, Aaron Vipers, will no longer face off next week in court with Anthony Elrod and Christopher Masterson. But there's some overlap, right? Because the brother who's staying at the trashed house that Aaron Vipers took us through, turns out he was staying at the other house that was trashed. As RadarOnline.com first reported, Denise and her husband leased a Calabasas rental, the one I just said sued, for 6 months to allow Aaron's brother to have a place to stay while they prepared for their wedding. Is it while they prepared for their wedding, or is it that he can't afford rent anywhere, so it's forever? He's being, getting a house rented for him, and maybe nobody in this family is cleaning anything up, even though Denise Richards is paying the rent. All right, so now I'm going to play for you the little clips from a coverage of the Insider edition that Aaron Vipers did. Please listen to it till the end. There's a lot of data you should take in. But one of the things I want you to be aware of is take a look at the state of his parents' part of the house downstairs. Yes, there's a lot of animals there. But what you're going to notice is that it isn't that clean. Some more things I want you to remember. Aaron said that he dumped her because she cheated on him, but that has now seemingly gone away. Haven't heard about the cheating allegation anymore with the special forces guy. That's number one. Number two, kind of odd. He said that he didn't abuse her, and he said that the reason that she made up the abuse claim was to retaliate on him filing for a divorce against her because he dumped her publicly. I don't even know what to say. That's so stupid, right? Let's just say that for what it is. He filed first because he was instructed that that would give him some sort of leverage. And then number three, he said that she's a chronic druggie. She's such a druggie, like he's worried about her health. Now, watch this Insider edition. Notice that he doesn't bring up, the druggie or cheating, which you'd think you would in that show, right? That'd be a perfect opportunity to bring that right up, but he doesn't. So what do we got here? We probably have a pathological liar on our hands. He's a con man. I'm going to say it straight up. Conning women, wealthy, famous ones. And Denise and Nicolette Sheridan unfortunately fall for his charm. So for my people that like receipts, I'm going to now play Denise Richards on her social media talking about how this has impacted her headspace for you to take a look at. And then we're going to move on to his. And I want to remind you that the way that Denise Richards deals with really troubling problems is to make light of them. That's her defense mechanism.
Eddie, I was just checking in to see how your summer's been going. Mine's been wonderful. And it's actually been shitty. But I'm going to pretend like it's all good. I've actually been posting on Instagram, like, nothing's going on in my life, and I can't do that anymore because there's something obviously going on. Many of you have been so kind and so supportive of me that I see all of your messages. I can't comment because that'll be taken out and be in the press. But I just wanted to, in all seriousness, say that this has been that's Sammy's dog, a very, very, very difficult time. It's so hard to go through a divorce. Many of you have gone through that. This isn't my first one, it's my second one. And I never thought I'd get divorced again. This is why I always say never. But I really just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your supportive, kind, thoughtful, encouraging messages, because this has been a very, this has been a very difficult time, and there's circumstances around my divorce that are difficult to talk about. Which one day I will talk about it. When the time is right. I just want to process everything and get through this. I know, Lily. We're talking to everyone on Instagram. So it's has not been easy. So your messages mean a lot. And also during this time, I'm, some of you may know because it was put out there that I was having reconstructive surgery. I was open and honest about having to have surgery for a TV show that I did. And then I had another surgery, and I do want to post about that, but I didn't want to post about it during all of this and look inappropriate and have it seem insensitive to what I'm dealing with. But I also want to live my life and share that part of my life. So that's what I'm going to do and continue doing. But I just wanted to, sorry, Lily's coming up here. I know, mamas. I just, This is her. I just wanted to say thank you so much. It makes me want to cry seeing your messages because this is a very difficult time and you guys are all helping me through it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love and thank you so much.
His husband says she left him living in what looks like a hoarder house.
Exclusive. Inside Denise Richards' house of squalor.
All of her stuff. This is how she left it.
Her estranged husband, Aaron Pfeifers, shows the shocking conditions at their $3.5 million rented home in Calabasas, California.
Oh my gosh. This is the master.
He showed Jim Murray the bedrooms, trashed, the carpets, stained, the closets in disarray.
There's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of vintage clothing in here. It is riddled with moths. She buys makeup and keeps buying makeup and gets more makeup.
He says he's not at liberty to touch the mess upstairs because it all belongs to Denise Richards.
No,
Downstairs
up until
is where
now,
Aaron
he's
says he
just
lives
left
with
it,
his
right?
parents, brother, and 15 dogs. He says the dogs are all Denise's. At one time, he says Denise had 36 dogs living in the home.
How do you have so many dogs? Because she has a thing with dogs. Like a hoarding thing with dogs? I don't know if it's hoarding. It's something.
Denise and Aaron married during an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills 6 years ago, but they are now battling it out in an explosive divorce case. Denise claims she hasn't lived in the Calabasas home for 2 years and that Aaron and his family have severely damaged the property and left the house in a state of disarray. Aaron claims his family are the only ones caring for Denise's dogs and are now facing eviction. His mom is 80 years old.
I love Denise, and I treated her like a daughter, and I don't understand.
In the divorce papers, Denise is alleging Aaron physically abused her multiple times and claims he caused this black eye.
This is one of the photos that she had with a black eye. Do you even recognize her looking like that?
No, it looks like makeup.
You did not cause a black eye.
I did not ever cause any black eye, bruise, or anything.
He says she's making it up because he's the one who filed for divorce, requesting spousal support.
She's upset. I publicly dumped her, to the world, and she's mad. So how does she retaliate? File a bogus abuse claim.
A judge just approved Richards' request to return to the home this Saturday to collect her belongings and her dogs. She was also granted a temporary restraining order against her estranged husband. There's a hearing next month on whether or not to make it permanent.
So Denise also requested spousal support, but I think she just did that for symbolic reasons. Aaron Pfeifers, however, he really needs the money, so I'd say he's really looking to get as much as he can. Because what else is he going to do? God forbid he work a real job. Maybe he'll become a life coach or a guru and destroy their reputations too, along with the whatever the hell he was doing before with his metaphysical treatments. Okay, you guys, if you like this video or any of my videos, like and subscribe and boost. I guess there's this new feature where you can boost my videos. That's really cool. Do it.